Red FM.
So here we are at Cork Opera House ahead of a fabulous weekend of music in the company of Jack from Bishopstown.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
Note the way I didn't intro you as Jack from Booka Brass Band. This evening it's more important that you're from Bishopstown.
More important that I'm a local.
Booka Brass Band sold out late night Cork Opera House tomorrow night. The album, I've been raving about it with you. For those wondering who and what Booka Brass Band are all about, the brass is a little bit of a giveaway, right?
Yeah, it's right there in the title. It's it's anywhere between 6 and 9 piece brass band. We kind of do like funky, groovy brass tunes, basically.
Like I say, the album is an awesome listen. There's a cover of Jason Derulo's Talk Dirty on it that I played last week after I chatted with you. You were telling me that the band kind of came together as, well, someone put it up to you, really, and gave you a gig, and then you'd like a period of days.
Well, we had sort of been just jamming with no intention of it ever being a, band, or, without kind of planning long run at all. And we then... one of the lads in the band, Paul, recorded one or two of our songs in rehearsal on a little Zoom recorder, and sent it off to a few venues. And then Sweeney's in Dublin kind of said "Oh, you free to do a gig on Sunday?" This was on Friday, and we were like, "Yeah, we can do that." And they were like, "Cool, 2 hour set. We'll see you there." And we were like, "Okay, cool." And we were like, "Okay, we have about 30 minutes of music." So we had about 2 days to try to get our set from about 30 minutes up to 2 hours. We got it up to about 90 and just took a nice big break in the middle.
I was telling you just before we came over here about how I walked into this studio with about 2 ads to go to intro news. Yeah. The crew that were in here were looking at me going, only you could walk in that late and get away with it. But you have a similar story of a gig you were playing for a radio station at Electric Picnic.
Yeah. So we were, basically this was Electric Picnic 2015, and we were playing a radio slot, I think, on the Friday. So it was it was just kind of set off the festival for this station, and we were kind of meant to play at 3 o'clock, I think, and we arrived what we thought would be plenty of time. We were down in Stradbally by kind of 1 or 1:30, but obviously, as always is the way with Electric Picnic, what should take 15 minutes can take 2 hours. And the next thing we know, we're all charging across Stradbally, across Electric Arena, running across front stage with no one there, with about 5 minutes to go before our gig. And I think when they were introing us, Ronan, our drummer, was still setting up his drums and stuff, and just about managed to count us in time to start us off, but a little bit 5 seconds.
Adds an extra little frizz onto things, doesn't it?
Yeah, that really gets the heart racing before you go, and means you can go into it with a lot of energy.
We've spoken about the brass. For those who don't know Booka Brass Band are wondering what Booka Brass Band are all about, but anyone else wondering if Hypnotic Brass Ensemble, who are pretty famous here in Cork, means anything, that's a similar sort of tip. And the Hot 8 Brass Band, who are back in Cork once again this weekend in Bodega, I presume they'd be one of your picks and suggestions.
Oh yeah, so Hot 8 Brass Band are absolute heroes of ours. And actually there's interesting story about in 2012, before we'd started the band, some of us were down here for the Jazz Festival, and after one of Hot 8's gigs, 2 of the lads in the band, Paul and Dave, were talking to some of the guys from Hot 8 and were saying this is a couple of days before we had our first rehearsal, and they were like, we're going to start a brass band next week thanks to you guys, and they were like, sure, you never know, in a year we could be supporting you. And a year later we supported them in the Sugar Club in Dublin, so
that is a pretty cool, nice little
also the following
story.
year, at 2013, at the Jazz Festival, we were in Gallagher's pub up on McCurtain Street, and we were doing a gig, and we were playing a Hot 8 tune, and 2 of the lads from Hot 8 walked in, and Larry from Hot 8 grabbed James's trombone and ripped a solo. That was quite a remarkable moment. So yeah, we're massive fans of Hot 8, and they've been amazing to us.
You should turn up to them in the Bodega tomorrow and see, can you jump in and add a little. Jack from Bishopstown, from Booka Brass Band, sold out at Cork Opera House tomorrow night. You always get a massive reception in Cork. We look forward to you coming back, and we'll let people know ahead of time so they can actually get tickets and enjoy. Recommend the album, the name?
Chilled Milk.
Chill Milk. And the best spot to find it, bookabrassband.ie?
You can find it bookabrass.com. You can find out how to get it, and you can get it on all the kind of online platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Tidal,
the lot.
Sorry, I should have laughed.
Jack, thanks so much for chatting to us. Enjoy your Guinness Court Jazz Festival weekend.